So you're thinking of moving to Fargo, North Dakota, and maybe you're asking yourself, what is even in or around Fargo, North Dakota? Well, today we're going to figure that out. We are going to take a bird's eye view of Fargo, North Dakota and the surrounding areas for you to get an idea of what's around here and the different options for places to live. Because even if you are working in Fargo, it doesn't mean you have to live in Fargo. We have a lot of nearby cities that are just a short commute to the heart of downtown Fargo, or to a lot of the locations where people are working and spending a lot of their day. Commute times are great here. So we're kind of going to go over all that and the differences between the different locations. Let's get after it right now. This is your first time to the channel and you want to know all there is about Fargo, North Dakota and the surrounding areas, click subscribe below and make sure to click that bell for notifications so that you're the first to know about all the best updates on the Fargo, North Dakota and surrounding areas. I'm Megan Oye with Remax Legacy, and I get calls from people just like you every day. Whether you're 9 days or 90 days out from your move to Fargo, North Dakota, I can help you have a smooth transition into our area. All of my contact information is listed in the description below, but feel free to reach out to me via text, phone call, email, or we can schedule a Zoom, whatever works best for you. Let's get into this. We are going to dive deep into my computer here and again take that bird's eye view of Fargo, North Dakota.
Okay, so we are here in Fargo. It's near the center of your screen. And this shows you just how connected a lot of these cities are. But to start, I'm going to zoom way out so you can see where we are really in proximity to the world, or the country anyway. Okay, so Fargo is on the very eastern border of North Dakota and the very western border of Minnesota. So it is Fargo, North Dakota, right alongside the border of Minnesota there. And we are actually kind of central to a lot of things here in Fargo, with not too far of a drive to get to different fun destinations. So the first one I want to mention is Canada. We are about a 2-hour drive from the Canadian border, and then it's another hour and a half, I believe, to Winnipeg, Manitoba, and that is a larger city in Canada. Of course, you need your passport to get up there, of course, because you're crossing into another country. But once you get there, there's so much to do that I can't even tell you. But they also have a really amazing spa called Thermia. You will hear a lot of people from our area going up there, maybe for a weekend trip or even just a day trip to go to this thermotherapy spa. It is really amazing. So that about 3.5 hours there. Fargo is also very close to Minneapolis, St. Paul, the capital of the state of Minnesota. Of course, that is a much larger metro area. That is where you'll find all the professional athletic teams for the state of Minnesota: the Minnesota Vikings, the Minnesota Wild, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Minnesota Twins. You know, the list continues, the Lynx. So lots of things to do down there, including the Mall of America. And just a couple hours away from that, I don't think I mentioned, I'm sorry, this Minneapolis, St. Paul area is about a little over 3-hour drive, 3.5 probably. And then Wisconsin Dells is closer to 6, maybe a little over 6-hour drive to get to the Dells. Of course, that is the spot in Wisconsin with all of the indoor, outdoor water parks. Really fun family destination, but also for singles. I've heard a lot of people go there to have some fun as well. Back up here to Fargo, we are just a short drive. Oh, things are popping up everywhere. From the South Dakota border. We are about an hour away from the border, and then a couple hours again there to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which really is a lot like Fargo. I think they're about the same size. They're very similar places, but it's a cool spot to go visit in South Dakota. So that's about a 3.5-hour drive as well. And then going out to the Black Hills, of course, there's a lot of national monuments out in the Black Hills. We've got Rapid City and Sturgis, where they have that really big motorcycle rally every year. Spearfish, and what am I forgetting? Deadwood out there as well is a really cool spot. So the Black Hills is a must see for national monuments and beautiful surroundings, all of those things. Definitely something to go check out. That is, let's see, that is about 6 to 7 hours from Fargo. So definitely a longer drive, but it is easily a road trip. You don't have to fly. Down straight to the west of Fargo, we get into Dickinson and Medora. Medora is really known for their musicals. They have a lot of historic buildings out there, and then also well known for Bully Pulpit, which is a really amazing golf course that I've not had the pleasure of golfing at yet, but I plan to get there at some point. Apparently the views are spectacular. So that is just kind of an overview of where we are in relation to maybe more well-known locations. We're also not too far from Duluth, Lake Superior, so that's a pretty cool spot as well. But we're gonna zoom into Fargo a little more here so you can see where we're at. Fargo is, again, on the border of the state of Minnesota, and that gives us really close proximity to Lakes Country. Most of the people here either have a lake place or have a family member that has a lake place. In the summers, people are spending time at the lakes. And we really are about 20 minutes to 25 minutes, I suppose, to where that Lakes Country begins. So you'll start seeing all these blue dots pop up. The land of 10,000 lakes. Of course, we know there's more than that, but that is what Minnesota is known for. So taking a trip on Highway 10 out there, over into Detroit Lakes, which is pretty well known for Minnesota, to some of these larger lakes in here. That is pretty close. Getting a little closer in here. So you see this white blob, that is Fargo and the surrounding areas. When we talk about that, we're talking about everything in this white space today. So Fargo is really central to a lot of areas that are directly attached to it. Moorhead's not showing up here. I'm gonna have to zoom in a little more for you to actually see it say Moorhead, but Minnesota and North Dakota really are separated by this Red River, which is here. So we talk about which side of the river do you want to live on? Do you want to live on the Minnesota side or the North Dakota side? And of course, there's different great things about each state. There's different laws, different taxes, there's just different things. So really determining what's the best fit for people is an important thing when they're choosing to live in our area. So zooming in a little closer here, Fargo flows directly into Moorhead. There is really no break in the cities here. So we go over the river into Moorhead, and then Moorhead flows directly into Dilworth. So kind of all attached. The population of Fargo, I think, is just under 140,000 people right now. And it kind of depends on the sources you look at. They all vary a little bit. And Moorhead is around 45,000. So Moorhead almost feels like a small town and a slower pace in comparison to Fargo. But then, you move over to Dilworth and their population is 4,800. So it's even smaller. So when you're looking in terms of schools, some people want to be in a smaller school district. Maybe they would consider being in Dilworth and going to DGF. That is their high school that they attend through there. Moorhead's, it is all the students at one high school, so it maybe doesn't feel that much smaller than Fargo. I think the community in general feels smaller, but the school sizes are going to be comparable to the Fargo schools because Fargo has a few options for schools, but they also have a larger population. So benefits of Moorhead school system right now, they just got a brand new high school. I mean, it just opened like a month ago, so it is brand new. They also have the Spanish immersion option for students going kindergarten through 6th grade, where they are learning fully in Spanish, which I don't believe they offer that anywhere on the North Dakota side of the river. But yeah, also other tax benefits to living in Moorhead. They have great new construction tax benefits, which Fargo has them as well, but they're set up a little different. So all these discussions that should be had if you're considering moving to the area and which side fits better for you. Some benefits of North Dakota, of course, their income tax is significantly lower than Minnesota. For most people, that really matters. So a lot of people will choose the North Dakota side of the river because taxes in general are going to be lower over in North Dakota. So it's kind of fun to compare the two when you're deciding where to live here and kind of weigh the pros and cons of each. But something else I want to touch on quick before we move to the next location in the area is just our commute times. Commute times here in Fargo and the surrounding areas are really tolerable. Of course, there's going to be the times of day where it's a little busier, a little more congested, you know, before work, after work, those types of things. But generally speaking, you can get almost anywhere in the cities, in these areas, within 15 to 20 minutes. Of course, if you're going from the very northeast to the very southwest corner of the general area, it's going to take a little longer. But we do have a couple interstates that flow through. I-94 goes east and west, and I-29 goes north and south. And these interstates are super helpful because really anywhere you are, you can hop on one of the exits to get to the interstate and get there much quicker. It's just very centrally located, and you can see that here. If we're looking at our community as a whole, we've got that right in the center. So really a great travel system there. We also have Hector International Airport, and it is an international airport, as it says, but it's small. So you don't have to get there multiple hours before your flight time. You are going to be able to get there at a comfortable amount of time, not have to sit long, and then you're going to be on your flight. Another thing they're adding to our community at that Hector International Airport is a parking ramp, and that has been long overdue, because if you're somebody who's going on a vacation in the winter for a week and you come back, your car is snowed in from the plows. It's not exciting, and it's something that we deal with here. So having a parking ramp kind of covered up so that your car is nice and safe in there is going to be a really good addition to our community. So now I want to look a little more at Fargo itself. So when we are talking about Fargo, a lot of times we are looking at North Fargo and South Fargo. And of course, it's not the same deal. West Fargo is its own city. Fargo is just split into the north side and the south side. When we're looking at the north and the south sides of Fargo, Main Avenue is really what separates the two. And that goes straight through here. So everything up here is going to be with a North Fargo address. Everything down here is going to be a South Fargo address. Going north, we're going to have Broadway, lots of shops downtown. I mean, this area is just full of amenities for people. And local people and investors have done a really good job at keeping the downtown just really up to date and really a place and a destination that people that live here want to go to, but also people that are just coming into the community for a short amount of time for a work trip or whatever, they want to go see it. You see the Fargo Theater sign on this photo here. It's pretty well known in terms of images that you see associated with Fargo. Jasper Hotel downtown is a newer hotel, and I believe it is the tallest building in Fargo now. Someone can correct me on that if that's not correct. But that is a really nice spot. So downtown Fargo just offers a variety of restaurants and shops, and it has coffee shops and ice cream parlors, and it's the cute but upscale downtown scene that everybody wants their community to have. So we've got that here. Housing in downtown Fargo, you're gonna see kind of a variety. So downtown Fargo is older, right? In general, the buildings are older, but they have been well maintained and redone throughout the years. The housing's similar. You're gonna find homes in downtown Fargo that are 100 years old or more. And you're also gonna find some newer high-rise condos that are luxury condos that they just put up. Some different housing options there. And just because the homes are maybe older does not mean that they're not beautiful. You're gonna see a price range from the low end to $1 million plus, depending on the home itself. We do have 8th Street down here that is actually a historic district around there for where they want to keep the architectural integrity of some of these older historic homes. So they have some guidelines in place for the homeowners there, specifically and especially on the exterior of the home, to really keep that original architectural feel for some of those historic properties. But I'll have to show you guys more about that once we aren't on my computer in some of the next videos. Fargo also has Fargo North is their high school. So when I say Fargo has a couple options for high school, it's really dependent on where you live, what zip code you're in. But Fargo North is the high school in North Fargo. They also have a variety of elementary schools and then the middle school. And of course, we have North Dakota State University. That is the college in Fargo, well known for their football team and their athletics and agriculture, that department. So lots of things to check out with NDSU. And then moving up farther a little north yet, we have just more housing. North Fargo is interesting because a lot of the housing out here by Longfellow, this is an elementary school, is really sought after. And it's because they're really not building anymore to the north. When we talk about South Fargo, you'll see there's a lot of new construction, especially in single family homes. Whereas North Fargo, they've kind of run out of space. So the homes here are usually really well kept, beautiful established neighborhoods, and lots of mature trees, and just people want to be there. And if you're a North Fargo person, you always want to stay in North Fargo. It just has a different feel. It's going to be a similar feel to Moorhead, where it's almost like a slower pace of living. And they've got, of course, their grocery store and their restaurants and all their amenities up north. And so a lot of times they're not really venturing south because they want to stay north. So some really nice areas there. We also have a couple golf courses in North Fargo. Edgewood Golf Course is a really nice and difficult golf course, in my opinion. It's just a lot of trees, and of course, it's along the Red River here, so it's a good one. And then, where is the other one here? El Zagel. That is a par 3 golf course, so it's significantly smaller than majority of the golf courses in town, but it's a good one to check out if you are into golf. And then, around here we have tons of parks and baseball fields and soccer fields. We're going to have all of that stuff. Each area of the city of Fargo, Moorhead, all these places, they really build it up for community. So the Fargo Parks is incredible. The way that they have pulled everything together for our community has been really impressive. But this again is also where you are going to find the airport. So that is all the way up north. And then we've got a couple smaller residential developments like Riley's Acres and Oakport, some larger lots, more established in Oakport than in Riley's Acres. They have some older housing out there, but a lot of it is newer. So if you're looking for new construction with a larger lot, that would be a good spot for you. And of course, now we're going to move down to South Fargo. It's going to be similar, but I kind of think of it as if you are looking for an older home or something with maybe a little more character, you're going to want to stick around downtown. And then the farther away you get from downtown, the newer the housing is going to become, because we have built out instead of up in Fargo. And so coming down this way, you have Fargo South High. That's one of the high schools in Fargo. And then another high school in Fargo is down this way. And we have, here we are, Davies High School. So that one's way south. That is the newest high school in Fargo, and it's not that new, but it is the newest. And the residential development has continued to go south. So there's a lot of new houses and new construction going on down here by Davies. And this is one of the most southern points of the city of Fargo. So when you look out to the south, you're gonna see a whole lot of nothing. And then moving a little farther south, which we will talk about on another day, but something to be noted out here is Oxbow. That is another smaller community, but not too far away from Fargo. A lot of new construction and established housing out there. They have their golf course out there. So a lot of the homes are on the golf course or have the membership dues with the Oxbow Country Club, which is brand new within the last few years. They redid all of that. So that's a good spot to check out if you're considering moving here. And those people, I believe, go to Kindred, the people that live in Oxbow. So that's even a smaller school district. So something to keep in mind if you want to get out of Fargo a little ways. And so now we're gonna move west. So West Fargo and Fargo are not the same city. They are completely different. You just think that it's the west side of Fargo, but it's a different city. West Fargo is very well established as well, more so on the north side of town. you'll find the older homes on the north side of town and the older businesses, business buildings, that sort of thing. And then the farther south we flow, again, it just is newer. A lot of new construction going down this way, especially down towards Horace. We recently basically connected the two cities. There's not a ton of space between West Fargo and Horace anymore in terms of, you know, where the development stops. It's kind of like the two of them run into each other now. And some of the West Fargo kids that live in West Fargo actually go to the Horace School District. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking in the city of West Fargo. If you're looking to live there, you maybe want to determine if you have a family where you'd like to live based on school district. They do have the older high school, which is West Fargo High School. That is going to be more north. And then, yes, Cheyenne High School is their newer high school. It's not new by any means. It's been there for a while now, but it is newer. And then they've got lots of middle schools, elementary schools, depending on where you live. Of course, that's where they'll determine which ones you go to. West Fargo also has, oh, sorry, that's South Fargo. Yes, Osgood Golf Course is in South Fargo, not in West Fargo. Sometimes I get it a little confused, to be honest, because like I said, everything flows together. But here is that line here that is South Fargo, or Fargo, and then West Fargo over here. But West Fargo has really picked up a lot of speed, especially in amenities. They have the Lights, which is this really amazing outdoor event center with shops, and they've got condos there that are available for people to live in. So really putting in a lot more infrastructure for restaurants and shops and just places that people want to go to and get together as a community. West Fargo has grown so much. So like I said, a lot of newer development down this way. The city of West Fargo's population is a little lower than Moorhead's. They're a little over 40,000 people, as for what I could find there, but lots of great options for schools, and again, tons of parks and paths, and they're right along the Cheyenne River, so lots of really beautiful properties that have riverfront too, so lots to consider there. And like I said, we run straight into Horace. So Horace is definitely the smallest of the ones that the places we've talked about on this video. It's really comparable to Dilworth, which is the one that was connected to Moorhead, if you remember from the beginning of the video. Horace population is almost 4,800, and that city has also made some big strides and growth. And a lot of that is because of the single-family residential development, I would say. A lot of people have wanted to live out in Horace because they did like the smaller school district. You know, small towns have a lot of benefits that you don't see maybe in the larger areas of the city. So lots of people have been moving out to Horace, and there has been so much new development for residential construction out here. So you'll have old Horace and you'll have new Horace, and you'll be able to see the difference when we go through there. They don't quite have a grocery store yet. I think that is on the way, but they definitely have more out there in terms of restaurants and shops than what they used to. So it's a build. It's slowly coming up, but it's an incredible community. People that live there absolutely love it. The schools, they absolutely love those. I've never heard a cross thing about any of the Horace schools. So that might be a good place to check out if you like to be in the area, but also kind of outside of it. Horace is very much well loved around here. So I think that will conclude the tour for today. There's a lot to be said about each of these locations. Like I said, Horace is probably the farthest out from Fargo. You know, it's a little bit of a trip. That's the one that's maybe going to take you a little longer if you're going from the north side down all the way to Horace. But it's really not that far in comparison to a lot of the larger metro areas where you've got pretty crazy commute times. We will definitely dive more into these specific locations in future videos so that you can learn specifically about Horace, specifically about Moorhead and West Fargo, Dilworth, you know, everything. But I just wanted to be able to give you all a bird's eye view of how it's all linked together and what that looks like. So if you'd like to get more information on Fargo, North Dakota or the surrounding areas, I'll be putting out videos, many more videos. So definitely hit the link below to subscribe and tap the bell for notifications. All of my contact information is in the description below, and I will see you next time.